Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Up Next. Now I'm gonna come back with another video. Hey man, say man, look, shout out to the Art of Dialogue. Make sure I like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications. Let's hop straight into it, man. Make sure I go support the Art of the Dialogue too, man. Without this
You and
channel,
50, y'all had a back and forth on social media about Big Meech, and you ended up apologizing to 50. If you can you give me the backstory behind that? What's going on with Big Meech?
Yo, bruh, you know, I don't want to be like everybody on the internet and come to any kind of assumptions about this. So I went and I read the paperwork. You understand? I read what was available. I asked some agents that were friends of mine. They were my fraternity brothers about certain situations. I asked guys who had that 848 kingpin charges. I asked guys who was in jail at the time, and I got all the information from them. But I could be just like everybody else and just have assumptions about the whole situation. So the thing about with 50 and me, when I took up for Meech, it was because I've been around Meech. You understand? I've had conversations with Meech, and I always known Meech as being a stand-up guy. You understand? And so then I jumped out the window. You understand? Because I didn't see that in Meech. You know, I didn't see him doing that. But that's not none of my business to know the intricate parts of it. So me to speak on that, I had to go and see what was out there. And now, yo, you might have to have a whole nother hour to this, bro, because it's longer than what people realize it is. And I'm going to try to do it as short as possible. Is this Meech and that girl Tammy Collins, who somehow he gave his rights to the BMF thing to. You understand? And she was giving it up on both sides to the panties to everybody. That's what you could tell, because she was even having sexual relationships with the agent. And the DEA teach state agents, you do not get involved with the women that you are got under investigations and they CIs for you. But somehow she got to this agent, and this agent was giving her mad money, $2,500 a week. And then she gets a check for $80,000. She gets checks for $250,000. They had to cut it off so he wouldn't have to. They had to cut him out the system where he couldn't give her nothing, and he couldn't have no rights to the computers or anything, bro. It was crazy. So now what I'm hearing and what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing is that Meech connected her allegedly with the dude Cuffy, but I don't believe that he connected her with Cuffy as far as the paperwork going, because Meech would have been recharged and everything. If he would have connected her with Cuffy, he probably would have been recharged, you know what I'm saying, for the drug trafficking thing that they caught Cuffy in, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But it's paperwork out there. I believe that he connected her with Cuffy because Cuffy wanted to buy the rights, you know, to do the movie or whatever like that. And then somehow it got to whereas that the agents knew Cuffy and used her to get at him with these other people, these other two Spanish dudes that people don't talk about, Suarez and Fernando or whatever like that. Because those Spanish guys don't care nothing. Those Mexicans don't care nothing about blacks. They snitch on you. Y'all talk about ratting and snitching on them. That's all they do. They call that business. They call that business. So what I'm seeing is far different from what I'm hearing.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need.
I ain't gonna cap. I thought this would be more interesting.
In the paperwork, you don't see that Meech was a cooperative third party. Because when I spoke to the agents that I spoke to, shout out to my bros, when I spoke to them, they said this: in order for Tammy to have Meech as a cooperating third-party cooperative, the agent has to speak to Meech at least once with his legal counsel. They're gonna draw up the paperwork, and it's some kind of secret thing that I forgot the name of it, man. I'm sorry about that. But they draw up the paperwork that he's gonna be a third-party cooperative with, and she's gonna be working off time for him. This is what the agents them are telling me. He said they cannot do that unless they talk to Meech. Now, there's nowhere in that paperwork that is said that the agent spoke to Meech or Meech is in that paperwork, because they have to write everything and present that. They got to cross their T's and dot their I's. Now, I'm getting this from agents who do the work for the DEA. They retired so they could tell me this. You understand? So I looked at that. Now I go back and I look at the whole situation and I say, well, I didn't see nothing that in that paperwork. Maybe it's something out there. I don't know. I didn't see it. I can only go by what I hear and what I see. So now I look at Meech's paperwork and look at his time, and it coincides with the time cuts and all this stuff like that. But then I was like, in our time, because there's a lot of guys that sold way more drugs than Meech. They got a guy in California, one guy that sold way more drugs than the whole BMF thing. You understand what I'm saying? So, but why did he get the time cut? And then I had to see that his cooperation with the government was not taking it to trial. His cooperation with the government was convincing his brother not to go to trial. His cooperation with the government was telling the 5 people below him that he supervised in his plea agreement. And everybody does that. They do a plea agreement, they say what they did, and the government, they had to go in front of the judge and say, yo, the government, the prosecutor said, that's true, something else is true. So that's what they have to do. You understand what I'm saying? So
I ain't gonna cap. I don't understand a word that you fucking saying, bro. I understand like the plea and things of that nature, but I guess I'm just lost in this whole situation. Y'all gonna have to catch me up, bro. I feel like this whole shit is just pointless. Like all this street shit is just pointless as fuck. I know a lot of y'all gonna disagree with me, but fuck the streets. Nigga, I'm next video. I ain't got time for this bullshit.